Hello and welcome to Life at the Met,
a programme showcasing the talents and accomplishments of our students at Belfast Metropolitan College. I'm Stephen Greer.
And I'm Laura McConnell. Coming up in today's show,
You'll be hearing from some of our students who recently took part in the International Food and Drinks exhibition.
you'll take a look at some of the fabulous work Belfast Met students have done on youth lyrics play The Crucible.
You'll be hearing from the Students' Union Secretary Naomi Reading, who'll be telling us all about the work that the Students' Union does within the college.
And finally, Sticky Treats of the World, the multicultural event organised by our business students. Some of our students at the Belfast Met recently took part in the International Food and Drinks exhibition.
And with 2016 being the year for Northern Ireland's food and drink, what better way to showcase our up-and-coming talent in the IFEX event?
Well, joining us now is two of our NVQ Level 3 students in professional cookery, Stewart McComb and Isis Palomini.
Thanks for coming on the show. Now Stuart, how was your experience with the IFEX event?
It was absolutely brilliant, so it was unbelievable experience. It's the first time me or Isis has actually been at the IFEX event itself. So with it, as I say, being the year of food and drink, it was great that our restaurant could showcase that and show all the best up and coming producers around all in Northern Ireland, some of the best producers in the world that we have here.
Could you tell us a little bit about the process of IFEX and the role you played?
So the process of getting into the actual day, we had to choose whoever is doing each courses. So I did the starters, and there would be a head chef and 2 veg chefs and a dessert chef. So it was really more that we were experimenting on the products, on the local products that we decided to use. And then, so for each and every week, we would just, build up the dish, and it will sometimes, some days, some weeks, it will be a disaster, but some weeks getting close to IFEX, it was working out pretty well. The actual being in the kitchen with just your classmates was a bit, it takes a little bit of getting used to, because we're used to having our tutor there telling us what to do, but this is just listen to your head chef and do whatever he wants, even though he's your classmate. You just have to go with it.
And Stuart, what about you?
Yeah, as I said there, it's very student based. Our tutor helps out as much as he can, and then he takes a step back, lets us work away at it. It was very good getting to meet all the producers, and it is, as I say, the best producers maybe from around the world. Had Fiona Boyd from Short Cross Gin came in as well, and we were working with Abernathy butter products and Young Buck blue cheese, and it was unbelievable getting the knowledge from that and learning their background as well and how they started their businesses. And it's very good. You learnt so much as well. We had people coming in from past students who had worked in London or in high up places in Belfast. They came in and helped us, and it was fantastic. The whole concept was designed by the students, made the most of the Northern Ireland year of food and drink and showcased what we have in Northern Ireland. So hence our restaurant was called Restaurant 9, standing for Northern Ireland's newest enterprises. So yeah, it was just, the whole thing was great from start to finish, just learning more and more about what you have on your doorstep, really.
Isis, how important do you think it is to showcase our local produce and talent at IFEX?
It was really important for us as students because it gave us a lot of exposure, because the restaurant, both restaurant management and chefs around Northern Ireland was there, so they could see us doing our job in the kitchen, and it could lead to future jobs and stuff like that. For the local produce, it was very important that people would know that we have actually a lot of abundance here in Northern Ireland, so that they would know that they don't have to export or import produce just to get those ingredients for their cooking.
How do you keep your cool working in a fast-paced environment?
It was tough, but all of us have quite a lot of experience, and we're all very good friends. I had a bit of experience doing front of house before, so I was always taught if you're having fun, the customer will have fun, and that's the way it always should be. You want them to enjoy their experience as much as possible. So, but yeah, as I say, we're all very good friends in competition. Any people we met from any other courses as well, we became very good friends with ever since. So, no, I think that helped a lot anyway. And you just have to just have to have fun, and no matter what happens, that's the main thing really.
Isis, with it being your last year in the course, what do you plan to do when you finish?
For catering and hospitality being so huge, it's such a huge industry. We can really go wherever we want. We can even travel the world and experience different cuisines. But for me, I think I'm going to just continue on doing more, studying to understand more about food.
And Stewart, what sort of opportunities have Belfast Met give you during your time?
It's countless opportunities. I've been involved in quite a few things from the college. There was a Yes Chef dinner I had last year in my level 2 course. As a result of that, then I got sent away to do a work experience in Turnberry Golf Resort in Scotland. So that was life changing going there. It was the first experience of that kind of standard of cooking and food. And ever since, both me and Isis have actually both got our jobs from there. I'd done a few nights for Restaurant Week 2 years ago for Dean's. And ever since then I've managed to work my way in front of house there, and now I'm in the kitchen side of it. Obviously helps where I'm studying now as well, so yeah, it's best opportunities I could have ever asked for. So.
Thank you very much, Stewart and Isis, for joining us today. And if you have an interest in cooking and would like to enhance your skills, go along to our website
belfastmet.ac.uk and do a course search for cooking, where you can find a range of courses to delve into this September. Youth Lyric is one of the largest arts organisations on the island of Ireland, providing musical theatre and drama tuition to those aged between 4 and 24.
Youth Lyric partners up with the Belfast Met for their annual production, and this year it was Arthur Miller's classic, The Crucible.
You will not! Be gone! Be gone, I say!
Child, what is it? What?
It's on the beam! Behind the rafter!
Where?
Why do you come, you little bird?
Where's the bird? I see no bird.
My face! My face!
Mr. Head, do you see a bird? Be quiet.
But God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary.
Abby!
Oh, Mary, this is a black art to change your shape. The wings, her wings are spreading. Oh, Mary, please don't.
Will you speak?
I cannot. She's going to come down. She's walking the beam. I cannot think.
And with us now is Aidan Brown, a director in Youth Lyric and a tutor in the Belfast Met, Gillian McCausland, HNC student in costume construction, and Sarah Wilson, an HND student in graphic design.
The college has a strong connection between its courses and Youth Lyric Productions. Now Aidan, you are the artistic director of Youth Lyric. Can you tell us what the connection is?
Well, we like to see the Youth Lyric Showcase this year in Stranmillis College as a real opportunity for students from a wide range of courses to get practical experience on working, on something which leads to a performance, and then we showcase that for people in industry to come along and see. We have students from about 9 courses working on it this year, and it seems to be working very well for both parties.
And Aidan, what was it that made you want to get the Belfast Met students involved with Youth Lyric?
I think I needed some help, Laura, and you need to know what you don't know, and I don't know a lot of things. I don't know anything about makeup, I don't know anything about costume, I don't know anything about graphic design and communication, posters, marketing, all of that. So I thought, well, gosh, we have some really fabulous students at Belfast Met. Why not ask them and their tutors to come along and help us? And I think it's worked out really well, and we're very grateful for the support we've had.
And Aidan, how vital do you think it is for students to get these real life experiences like Youth Lyric Productions?
I think it's very important. Assignments are very, very critical to every course, but when there's an actual public performance where you'd have like the Secretary of State or the Mayor or leading people from industry and education and the arts there to see the final product, then I think that does give an edge to the design, to the implementation of the work which is learnt in classes. So we think it works well.
Sarah, you designed a fantastic poster for the production. How did that experience come about?
Well, in my course graphic design, our first ever brief that we got was for The Crucible. So it meant that in the first days we started up, we were going into a real life brief, working with real people, and actually getting to see what it was going to be like working to a deadline, and it was really a good opportunity to do.
And Sarah, also, how does it feel to have your artwork chosen by the client?
Fantastic. It was just such an amazing moment to be told that something that I love so much, want to do. As soon as I started it, I was able to win and able to show what I had done, and it was just, I was so proud.
And how do you feel this experience has benefited you?
It's really benefited me a lot because now I really know there's something to work towards and I'm not just training in something that's a hobby. I know that it really is a job and it's something I can really work towards and build up in.
And Sarah, how do you feel about the positive experience with Belfast Met and Youth Lyric?
I just think it's fantastic. It provides such a great opportunity to really get out there and see what the job is really going to be like. You're not just training, in a course in a college in front of a computer, you're really seeing what clients are like and what jobs are like, and it's so fantastic. It really does help out a lot.
Julie, you were behind the scenes in this production with the costume design.
Yep.
What was this like for you?
It was a bit of a whirlwind. It was really thrown in at the deep end. The designer, Carla Barrow, was really friendly and helpful, and all of the cast were very, very friendly as well. So it was a case of going in and just getting stuck in right away and no chance to think about it, which is what it would be like, on other jobs in the industry as well. So it was very beneficial to just go in and start.
Do you feel that the experience will help you get more work in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. It's invaluable to get work experience like that because you can have all the qualifications that you can get your hands on paper, but if you haven't gone out and worked in the experience and met people, you're never going to get a job. It's all about who you know, and you only meet people by going out and doing work like that.
And Aidan, if a student does well within their role, does that mean more chances of work for them within Youth Lyric?
Absolutely. I mean, we stage an annual showcase. We do 5 festivals every June, and the more help we have and the more skilled practitioners working on the projects, the better. So thank you very much, girls, for what you did, and we hope there'll be more opportunities in the future.
So what courses lend a hand then?
Lots of students get the opportunity to participate in the showcase. Theatrical and media makeup are involved in designing and presenting the actors on stage in terms of their makeup. Journalism would be involved in promoting the show and obviously running the Twitter side of it as well. Set design and construction, graphic design, as Sarah has said. Julie and her colleagues in costume construction are actively involved in that, and it's something that we love to see students doing.
Julie, I believe you've had some experience outside Youth Lyric with Game of Thrones. Would you like to tell us a bit about that?
I worked with the drapes department. I've also been a props painter, sort of specialised special effects painting on shields and things, but most recently in drapes. So they manage a lot of the things that you see but you don't see. It's background stuff that you wouldn't think about logistically. Massive tents for scenes, sails for ships, horse blankets, all that sort of thing, and miles of trim that someone has to hand make that you don't really think about ever seeing on the screen really. It's really helpful to see how all the other departments all collaborate to come together on something, because something as simple as a blanket that's going to go on a horse has gone from production designer through to the art department and then set deck department will come in and they bring it to us in drapes, and then from drapes it'll go then to the props guys and breakdowns. So even just for one little thing, it's a massive collaboration for a single item, so it's great to see how everyone comes together for something like that.
And Sarah, graphic design, is this what you see yourself doing when you leave Belfast Met?
Yeah, definitely. I want to go on to university and then study like illustration. I want to illustrate children's books and things like that. So obviously learning to illustrate early on with the Crucible really helped me. I went out and bought a graphics tablet, and from there my very first design, got chosen. So I know that's what I want to aim to do in the future.
Thank you all for joining us today. It's been really great to hear about your time with Youth Lyric, and good luck with the rest of your course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Belfast Met has a thriving students' union which helps to support students throughout their studies. Here with us now is their secretary, Naomi Reading.
Naomi, could you tell us what exactly the student union does within the college?
Well, we act as a voice for the students within the college, and every term we come out and address students on the ground and go around the different campuses, whether it's Titanic Quarter, Millfield or Castlereagh, and ask them if they've got any issues or anything that they want to bring up. And anything that they do bring up, we can bring back to senior management, and from there establish where we can go from it. See if we can bring anything into the campus to help out. Like for example, last year, before I was in the council, but we asked students whether they wanted an LGBT safe space, and then brought that up to senior management, and they went forth and it was brought about so that LGBT students could meet up once a week and discuss any issues that they had, and just went from there.
So throughout the year you've hosted many different events. Now mental health has been quite a big issue between students. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well, mental health is something that affects students quite a lot, And within the college, what we try to do is establish different things that we can bring about to help the students. So one thing that we did this year was we set up a stall within Titanic Quarter, Millfield and Castlereagh, all our main campuses, to sort of let students know about different things that are there to help them. We had an advert for Care Call, which is a 24-hour hotline where you can call them up if you've got any issues that you're dealing with. And whenever we were at the stalls, we had students coming up to us and asking, oh, are there any things, you know, on campus that we can, maybe people that we can go and talk to about different issues, and we would direct them to our student liaison officers, Paul and Declan, and they'd therefore be able to lead them on from there, from where they could go.
You also carried out an anti-Islamophobia campaign. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, we're actually still in the process of going about it. Myself and Olivia, who's another council member, we decided to visit the Islamic Centre just to find out a bit more about the faith and see if we could get anyone from there to come in and speak at the college. We're in the process of getting that done now, for someone to come in and tell the college a wee bit more about the faith, and it's mainly about trying to get people away from stereotyping with a lot of different things that have been happening across the world recently, and you do get that sort of some negative attitudes, especially with students, and given how diverse our college is with cultures, we want to try and promote positive attitudes and welcome everyone and let everyone know that the college is a safe, equal place for them to be. And what we're trying to do is get someone in to speak to us, as well as we're going to set up a survey outside the prayer room in Titanic Quarter to kind of get attitudes from people from a variety of different faiths about Islam and see what we can do.
So how in practical ways does the Student Union support students at Belfast Met?
Well, we've got a variety of different services that we have in the college to be able to help students. For example, we have services there to help students with finance. Different courses cost a lot of money, and you've got maybe students who are too old to get the free course, so we've got the hardship fund. It basically pays students a certain amount of money every couple of months to help them contribute to the course, and we've got student loans and things like that to be able to help students in other parts of their lives, maybe if they're living away from home, and financial services there in the college to be able to help out with things like transport. We can give out bus cards and our train cards as well. We've also got people that come in every couple of months to help students with drugs and alcohol issues. And we've also got a HYPE clinic, which is on the second floor of Titanic Quarter, I believe, where if students can go and discuss issues of contraception, STDs, and get a wee bit more information about that, as well as just students, if they've got any issues, can come to the council, a council member like myself or our students liaison officers, and discuss with them if they've got any issues with their course or with another pupil, say about bullying and things like that. A lot of students might find themselves in hard times at home, rough financial situations, and might find themselves living on the streets or living on their friend's sofa. And what we would try to promote within the student council is asking them to come forward and speak to one of us or our student liaison officers, Paul and Declan, and they'd be able to help them, maybe get them set up with somewhere to stay in a hostel or something like that. Just try to help them as best as we possibly can.
And at the end of this year, I believe you are involved with organising a Great Gatsby themed formal. It sounds really exciting. Can you tell us a wee bit about that?
Well, I'm actually head of formal committee. We've basically brought together, we were discussing within the council ourselves, you know, what did we want to do for a formal, and would students actually want to come to a formal? And so we went down and we were going up to lots of different students and saying, if we had a formal, what would you want to do? And a lot of people were like, oh, masquerade, but that was last year's theme, and we didn't really want to copy another idea. So a lot of people were interested in doing something big, something fancy, and we came together and said, what about The Great Gatsby? It's actually a book that I've been studying recently in class as well.
And Naomi, could you tell us a wee bit about other events that went on through the year?
Quite recently we had a Chinese New Year festival where we had a lot of performers come in and do this dance in the middle of reception for the students. And there was a big dragon and they actually tossed lettuce, I believe, at the students, which was all fun and games. And there were a lot of students that came down to watch all over the three floors that we have. We've also had an Xmas festival that came about at the Christmas period. And we had different things going on in the central hall with food being given out, just little fun and games to sort of have around the holiday period. We also had a St. Patrick's Day fair where we had Irish dancers who came in and performed, and just lots of different activities to be able to do. Also at the beginning of the year we have Freshers Festival, which is definitely the best by far. We have people come in and there's food for everyone, information about universities and different courses that the college offers. There's always a rock climbing event that happens outside, as well as one of those bulls that you get on and you ride. You try to see how long you can stay on without falling off. And it's basically just about trying to provide as much fun as possible at these different events. Let the students know that it's not all just about education and getting qualifications. Have fun while you're at college as well.
Well, that really does sound like fun, Naomi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Recently at our Titanic Quarter campus, a group of business students organised their own multicultural food event.
Students from the class served the delicious treats to members of the public, attracting a large crowd, and it wasn't long before most of the food had gone.
And here with us now is the business management tutor, Peter Martin. So Peter, how did this all come about?
Well, Stephen, my students had to organise an event as part of their course. And when we were considering what event to do, we noticed that we had a number of students who weren't born in Northern Ireland or had come from a different place. So we decided to do something that was multicultural, and therefore we organised an event called Tasty Treats of the World, which sort of showcased food that maybe wouldn't be usual to our palates in Northern Ireland, and that was based on some food from India, Lithuania and Hong Kong.
So Peter, tell us more, what kind of foods were on offer?
Well, we had scones and cream from the UK to represent, I suppose, the context of where we live. We had something called jalebi, which is a sort of an orange food from India, baklava from the Middle East, and Hong Kong egg tarts, which I made the night before. I should say, actually, I probably didn't make it. My 2.5-year-old and 4-year-old made most of the pastry, and I did the egg work.
So what do the students make of all of this?
The students who came along to it really got involved. They tried the food. Jalebi looks like sort of orange worms. That maybe didn't go down quite as well as some of the other stuff that we had on offer. But people came over, students from even different cultures came over and maybe recognised the food that was on offer. And we had some people just come over to see what it was like and try some. So I think it went around really, really well. And it's important to mark the fact that we have a diversity of cultures in Northern Ireland. And this is just a small way of doing that.
So what is the connection with your students in this event? What do they benefit from organising this?
Well, as part of their course, they had to organise an event. And so we could have organised a range of events. But we felt that given the context of the class and the fact that we had a diversity of cultures right in the class, it's something to do with food in the context as well of Northern Ireland Year Food and Drink. Bringing those two things together and showcasing some food that people maybe wouldn't have experienced before or certainly wouldn't have tasted before was an amalgam of those two things, and we thought that was a good way of marking Northern Ireland Year Food and Drink and also highlighting the diversity of students in my class and the food history they bring from their own cultures.
So after the business management course, what do the students go on to do?
Well, typically they'll go to university or take a job somewhere. Most of them will go on to study a degree somewhere either here on the mainland, possibly in business management marketing. So this is just a small piece, one unit of the overall program that they're doing, and then most of them will go on and do some level of further education, usually at university.
Well, it's been great to hear about the business management course mixing with this culinary event. Peter, it's been great having you today. Thank you for coming.
You're very welcome.
And finally, a big shout out and well done to our beauty students who took part in the Belfast to Bangalore trip.
During this trip, the girls learned alternative beauty treatments, including Reiki and Indian head massage. They raised the money to travel themselves through fundraising and events within the college. Well, that looks like they had a really great time.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for in today's show.
But just a reminder that the Belfast Met will be accepting applications for both full-time and part-time courses starting this September.
A list of the courses available can be found on our website, belfastmet.ac.uk, or you can pick up a prospectus in one of our campuses. And finally, a big thank you to all of our guests and of course to you at home.
But until next time, goodbye.